Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the upcoming episode of Unfortunate Love was how the proof to get Malishka exposed got deleted. So it was revealed who deleted the proof. And then Malishka got angry after Lakshmi tried to help Rishi, who was injured. Like she tried to help him change his clothes. So that got Malishka angry. So let's continue from there. Kiran tells Malishka that she was the one that deleted Vikrant and Saloni's video from her phone. Malishka thanks Kiran and says you are the best. Kiran says I have deleted the video from both our phones with the fear of being caught, and she asks Malishka not to let Lakshmi go close to Rishi again. Malishka says to Kiran that I asked Lakshmi to sleep in my room and I will sleep in Lakshmi's room so that I can stay close to Rishi. Kiran says good, and she asks Malishka to take care of Rishi and says Neelam will like it. Malishka says don't worry, I will not let Rishi take Lakshmi's name from his mouth. Ayush drops Rano, Shalu and Bani to their house. Rano says finally she came back home and says that her stomach, she meant her head, is having headache. Ayush asks if Rano would take medicine for headache or for stomach ache. Bani and Shalu thank God for exposing Vikrant and they ask God to bring happiness into their sister's life. Shalu apologized to Ayush and says I said so much to you and I wanted to slap you also. Ayush owed his cheeks. Shalu says like a friend slaps his other friend. Shalu says Neelam auntie had locked us inside the room and I was angry, so I am sorry. Ayush says it is good that she did not slap him and says you had become the queen of Jhansi and he asks her not to say sorry. Ayush says to Shalu that I am also sorry if I also said something wrong. Bani says Vikrant shot at Rishi's hand and says this shouldn't have happened with brother-in-law. Ayush says Rishi is fine and he tells them not to worry and says Rishi and Lakshmi will never be separated. Malishka comes to Rishi and says you have changed your clothes. She blames Rishi for taking Lakshmi's help and changing his clothes. Rishi says I have changed my clothes by myself because I knew that you would scold me. Malishka blames Lakshmi for trying to come close to Rishi and then she asks Rishi to rest. Rishi asks Malishka to go and rest and says if I need anything, then I will call you. Malishka says sorry and says I react this way because I love you. And she asks Rishi that will you call me if you need anything. Rishi says yes. Malishka kisses on Rishi's cheeks and she asks him to think about her in his dreams and she goes. Then Rishi wipes his cheek where Malishka had kissed him. Lakshmi recalls Rishi asking her to believe him that Vikrant is not a good guy. She thinks that if anything had happened to Rishi, then I wouldn't have forgiven myself. Neelam is sleeping and she gets flashes of Vikrant during Rishi's accident and then trying to kill him in the hospital and then shooting at him, and Neelam shouted and she gets up. Virendra asks Neelam that what happened. Neelam says all the incident came in front of her eyes and she insists to see Rishi once. Virendra says I will come with you. Neelam says I am fine, you don't need to come. She says I will see Rishi and I will come back. Virendra says okay, I will wait for you here, and Neelam goes. Virendra says Neelam loves Rishi a lot, but she did not know where Rishi's happiness lies. He thinks that if Neelam had got Rishi married to Lakshmi, then this wouldn't have happened. Neelam comes to Rishi's room and she sees Lakshmi sitting outside the room on the floor and sleeping, and she is shocked. Neelam goes inside the room and looks at Rishi and she comes out again. Lakshmi wakes up and sees Neelam standing there and she stands up. Neelam holds Lakshmi's hand and takes her away from there and she asks that what is this and why are you sitting on the floor and sleeping? Neelam asks Lakshmi that didn't we give you a room to sleep? Lakshmi says she had come to see Rishi and says that Malishka is sleeping in her room and she found out that Malishka's door is locked, so she thought that she should sleep here in case Rishi needs anything because he is odd. Neelam thinks if Malishka is staying in Lakshmi's room for sleeping or for Rishi, and she thinks that sometimes she is hopeless that Malishka can really take care of Rishi. Neelam asks Lakshmi to use her mind and she tells her that Rishi is having his phone with him, so he would call her if he needs anything, and she asks Lakshmi to go and sleep. Lakshmi asks Neelam that why are you sweating on your forehead, and she asks if her BP has increased. Neelam says she is fine and then she feels drowsy, but Lakshmi comes near her and says she will drop her in the room. Neelam says she is fine and she tells Lakshmi that nobody should know about her sickness, and Lakshmi nods that yes. Neelam thinks that if Virendra comes to know that her health is getting worse, then he will not let her come out of the room, and she doesn't want that. Neelam comes back to the room. Virendra asks if she is fine. Neelam says yes, and Virendra asks Neelam to lie down and sleep. Lakshmi is standing outside And she thinks that thank God that mommy, and then she corrected herself and says auntie is fine. The next day, Lakshmi does the girls' outie and prays for Rishi. Grandma comes there. Lakshmi asks God to stay with Rishi and save him from all troubles and says don't let any pain come into Rishi's life and instead give all of Rishi's pain to me and keep Rishi happy always. Grandma prays for Rishi and Lakshmi's happiness and says they don't live for themselves and they live for others. Grandma prays to God to save Rishi and Lakshmi from the devil, and she prays to God to bless Lakshmi so that she can stay happy always. She then asks Lakshmi if she kept the bug. Lakshmi says yes, and she gives Grandma prasad. She says, yesterday, I had come to your room and you were sleeping. Grandma says you would have woke me up. I wouldn't have told you jokes. Grandma jokes and Lakshmi smiles. Grandma says to Lakshmi that since your alliance was fixed with Vikrant, I did not see you smiling. You used to smile, but it was not a happy smile. Grandma blesses Lakshmi and says you are an angel sent by God. Lakshmi says it is not like that. Grandma says you have saved Rishi's life yesterday also. Lakshmi says I am just Lakshmi because of your blessings, and Grandma blesses Lakshmi to remain happy with Rishi. Grandma asks Lakshmi that how is Rishi? Lakshmi says Rishi is fine and says you need to rest. Grandma asks Lakshmi and asks her to make breakfast for them and Lakshmi says yes. Lakshmi comes to the kitchen. Mukesh says that he is happy to see her in the house again and Lakshmi thanks Mukesh for his help yesterday. Mukesh asks Lakshmi that how is Rishi? Lakshmi says Rishi is fine but his wound needs to be healed, but Rishi is fine. Mukesh says Vikrant is a devil. Lakshmi says that Vikrant will be punished and she asks Mukesh that what is he making for breakfast. Mukesh says that Neelam gave him list and said that Neelam said that she will make breakfast for Rishi by herself. Lakshmi thinks that Neelam was unwell, so why is she so much bothered? Okay guys, I don't think if I'm the only one, but I feel like there's something wrong with Neelam. I think her sickness is getting worse and I think maybe they might bring up that in the future about her sickness or they might make a story around her sickness. But for them to be showing us like this, because if you remember in the last upcoming episode as well, there was something that she was saying that she was feeling sick, then Lakshmi gave her medicine. I think there's something wrong with Neelam, but I'm just guessing anyway. It might not be what I'm thinking about, but I feel like for them to be telling us and repeating it like this, something is definitely wrong with Neelam. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and share it, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.